any player plays is well, but if he cannot or he or she cannot is score any goal, that game is totally meaningless. Suppose a football player, he thinks he is a very good player, but especially between the legs of him, ball goes away, but he cannot touch. Whatever it might be, especially that is called is a person who knows everything but master of none, সব কিছু জানে কোনো কিছুতে পারদর্শী না. Whatever it might be, I should share with you one thing. The person who is barber, he should be expert in cutting, dressing his hair. A beautician who performs this task connection to especially decorate bride and bridegroom, and she is very expert and skilled is the one in her hand how to decorate. বধূকে কীভাবে সাজাতে হয় উনি তো ভালো জানেন. And if her skill is not very good, of course customer will not go, because in our society so many marriages which are going on. So that person should know. A special carpenter who makes especially furniture, different kinds of furniture. If he cannot make good furniture, he will not get able customers in future. Now you are getting tailor who makes pant, shirt, coat, etc. and for female person, female dresses. But if he especially owner of that particular shop, the worker of that shop cannot work properly, cannot show their skill, cannot make or prepare the dresses according to the choice of customers, next time the customers will not go. Whatever might be in every sector and section, whatever you look around us, that you are getting, all classes of people should be skilled in this section. Whatever you do, you should have skills in that particular subject matter. A barber should have skills in his subject matter. A washerman who washes especially the cloth and iron the public cloth, he should know the art of performing this task. All classes of people in the society, of course, who are doing what, it is not my concern or headache, but all classes of people should have skills in your own sector and section. A person or primary school teacher who teaches at primary school, secondary school or college section, other places, of course, but that particular guy should have skills in this section, and especially that is called, of course, to draw the attention of students, guardians, authorities, etc. But the workers who are working in RMG section, different places of this country, I should share, but they ought to know, need to know. They ought to know, need to know. That is called they should have skills in this particular action and work. Whatever might be, and in order to, in the time of saying prayer, we must especially obey the rules and regulation what is dictated according to Quran. We must not do any wrong, but we should not forget one sentence. Whatever I do, Allah notices everything. Every record is especially will be shown at the day of Lord Judgment, because 24 hours angel are staying with us. We can hide the eyes of our parents, guardians, kin relative, other person, of course, we can perform a sinful task connection still secretly, but question is that it is being kept especially by two angels, and they are sitting with each of us with the help of powerful camera. They submit the action of Banda Bandi on Monday as well as Friday. For this reason, whatever is especially if you do any sinful task, anyone, and before doing sinful task connection, think for a while, think about it again and again, for whom you are doing this action, how long is it will be helpful for you, and what kind of punishment will come after your death, because death is inevitable. You can't expect to stay in mundane world century after century. That you are getting, জন্মিলে মরিতে হবে, কে কবে বাঁচিল কবে. Of course, we must remember this trust connection, and in each and that like is especially men, we must discharge our duty and responsibility. The student is who are admission seeker in future. A student is who is reading in primary section, he will be also admission seeker in future, maybe cadet colleges, maybe other sectoral section. The student is who are at present studying at secondary level, and you are to justice especially that is called, you will have to participate in the admission battle like Notre Dame College, Mymensingh Notre Dame College, Dhaka Notre Dame College, other colleges. You see which college you like most. Similarly, the person is who are science student is topmost talent and brilliant, and you are ambitious is one. You may have target is a BUET, and if you have target is especially for BUET, you should have such kind of quality from the side of result, from the side of basic knowledge, then you can apply for it. But if you do not, especially that is called a toss any football by the help of your leg, if you think you have become a very expert footballer, of course it will be a wrong action. If you do not, especially that is called participate in this particular game cricket, but if you think you have become expert in this section, of course it is your wrong idea. If you do not wish to just swim in the pond or river or canal or a stream or something like that, if you think that you have become an expert, especially person in swimming, it is wrong action. So in this society, every action is in this society are very important. Now think about a barber who cuts us, especially that our hairs, beard, etc., this and that. Of course, if there would have been justice, especially barber in our society, think about ourselves. আমার মনে হয় 6 মাসের মধ্যে আমরা বন মানুষ হয়ে যেতাম। বন জঙ্গলে যেরকম মানুষ আছে কিনা জানি না, তাদের তো এরকম করে কেউ চুল টুল কেটে মেটে দেয় টাই না, নাকি কেটে মেটে দেয় টাই না। Harvard is might be, of course, is getting from this section is especially he is also important is a person. Let us not neglect him. A sweeper, important is a person. But if you become especially that is called like a car of garbage, no one will like you. Everyone will especially that is called take his or her handkerchief to cover his or her nose. Because it's a garbage, especially truck, garbage is a car, garbage especially that auto soto or something like that, it is like. Similarly, justice especially that is called man-shaped man cannot be man. If you have only shape of man, of course but beneath the skin is if any person is number one, that is called rascal, as well as especially sinner or doer of bad activities in action, and especially he wears only the skin of man, he is not a man. Such kind of is a person we can notice is a Claudius is or skin of man, but actually he is not man, he is man-shaped beast. How? In Hamlet he murdered his own elder brother by pouring POUR ঢেলে দেওয়া poison into the earth, and he declared that his brother was killed by snake biting. Snake especially because of snake biting is his brother is killed. Hamlet is said especially Claudius that is called no snake can bite my father, can attack my father. Claudius, you yourself is a poisonous snake. Hamlet said. Hamlet is suspected to see Claudius severely and seriously. Claudius, you are poisonous snake. Are you man? No, you are especially poisonous snake, because especially and you are greedy for human flesh. যার অর্থ হলো নারী লোভী, and this particular is the person of course especially Claudius married his sister-in-law Bhapi, murdering especially whom his own elder brother, purpose to get the power. in which and that one of my students is especially who is at present university teacher, getting first class both honors and masters. One day he asked me one question that is called had especially Claudius any kinds of illicit affair with whom? With special Gertrude, mother of Hamlet. হ্যামলেটের মায়ের সাথে ক্লোডিয়াসের কোনো অবৈধ সম্পর্ক ছিল কিনা? But that person is got first class both honors masters Nasir oblique is Roman. Whatever might be from Jahangirnagar University. But I told him one thing, though I read especially the book very well, beginning to ending to beginning, but I did not get anywhere such kind of affair. It is not being mentioned. যদিও এখানে উল্লেখ নাই। এখন মানুষের মনের ব্যাপার স্যাপার তো আছে কি না সেটা বলা খুব কঠিন কারবার। কারণ যদি নাই থাকতো তাহলে এই যে স্বামীকে মেরে দিল, স্বামীকে মেরে দেওয়ার পরে ওই সপ্তাহে বিয়ে করে ফেলছে। ক্লোডিয়াস হ্যামলেটের বাবাকে মেরে দিল, গাটুটের হাজব্যান্ডকে মেরে দিল, এক সপ্তাহ দেরি করে নেয়, সেই সপ্তাহে তারা বিয়ে শাদী করে ফেললো। যখন তাদের কি পার করার কথা ছিল মর্নিং টাইম, শোকের দিনগুলো, এই শোকের দিনগুলো তারা পার করেনি। তাহলে এখান থেকে বোঝা যাচ্ছে, আমার অনুমান সারা দেশে ইংরেজি সাহিত্যের অনেক ছাত্র আছে যারা আমার মতো অধ্যাপনায় আছেন, সেটা হলো যে এখান থেকে বোঝা যাচ্ছে আমার মতন, যে আপনাদের মত কি আমি জানি না, সেটা হলো হয়তো ক্লোডিয়াসের সাথে হ্যামলেটের মা গাট্টুটের কোনো মনের সম্পর্ক ছিল, যার কারণে তিনি এরকম দুঃসাহসিক কাজ করতে পারলেন। কারণ হলো হ্যামলেট ইজ complex character that here is getting everywhere is we can get is the complexity, but whatever is might be actually I got no idea whether is my opinion would be able to adjust is especially myself with you, whatever might be it is not my headache, whether she had any kinds of illicit affair with her brother-in-law Debor, স্বামীর ছোট ভাই, or not, it cannot be my headache, whatever is might be. But there are students especially who will participate at the BCS Viva, other Viva special banking sector and section. If interview board will ask you one thing that you know, especially that is called whether Claudius had any kinds of illicit affair with Gertrude or not. But you may reply in which it is not being mentioned. So many mysteries of human life cannot be expressed in befitting manner, and we cannot share everything with our kith and kin relative. There are so many mysteries, especially which happen in our life. We cannot share this thing with our nearest and dearest person. Whatever might be so, especially here where is getting serious is mystery in the life of Gertrude and Claudius, whether they had any illicit affair or not, it is not clear for me to let you know this thing. I do believe one matter that you have understood is this thing. Now let us come to know something. Macbeth is especially remarkable drama of a dramatist himself, who was army general, good, gentle, polite, magnanimous and generous person. Of course, no, but man mind is changeable. Woman mind is not unchangeable. A man may be changed, especially that is called because of many influence, may be changed as getting promotion, by being moneyed man, by especially getting opportunity or political, especially high post or something like that. This and that for different causes. A man especially mentality may be changed. Similarly, woman mind is not unchangeable. They are also human being, especially they may also change their decision, thought and conception. But one request with you all, please don't be greedy. Please don't be greedy of everything or something. Of course, you will especially bring stigma for your family member and for your future life if you become greedy. This and that, of course, I should share with you something. Now, Lady Macbeth is especially made Macbeth is a villain. Macbeth was not a villain. Lady Macbeth is made Macbeth is a villain under the pressure of circumstances. Lady Macbeth was also villain who inspired her husband to kill innocent king. to kill his innocent is King Duncan. Duncan is trusted Lady Macbeth is properly because especially Lady Macbeth was wife of his younger brother. Macbeth was his cousin. So Duncan is especially that is called had profound his affection for this is particular is lady. Name of the lady we are getting Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth means wife of is Macbeth. Macbeth was army general. In spite of his especially being army general, he was not satisfied, but he wanted to get his more and more, of course, but men should not especially be greedy. Karun especially had luck and luck especially go down, full of especially this and that diamond, full of is especially that gold, but he could not be satisfied. He wanted to get more. He brought his own downfall. Namrud especially also performed the same task. Pharaoh especially, of course, especially getting happiness, who was only first time of his life, he was caretaker of a graveyard. From that place he became king of Egypt and got married with a very beautiful lady that we know named Zuleika, and he should be happy in mundane world, could be especially grateful to Allah. Not Zuleika, sorry. Pharaoh is especially did not marry Zuleika. Pharaoh's wife name is Asya. Wife name is Asya. Sorry, I beg your pardon for especially that is called wrong matter. But Asya was especially very accomplished lady. Was she only accomplished lady? Physically, the condition of her was very charming. Among the beautiful ladies of the world, she was one of them. Hazrat Asya. She was especially accomplished lady. She didn't have any kinds of stigma of her life. She did not know what is called lose morality. She did not lose her especially personality, of course, chastity. She was good, gentle, polite, magnanimous, and generous one, of course, she is getting. But especially only one case that her husband especially was not a Muslim, but she hadn't any kinds of pain for it. Yet, by being just a Muslim, Asya died. So from this point of view, of course, I should share, man and woman should not be greedy that you are getting. In the and that Shaddad is a position, look at is here. He became especially that is called president of that country, where he was brought up by his pet father, pet mother. He became especially that king of that is the country, with challenge with Almighty Allah Shatapalla. Last and final, of course, he brought his destruction. In the historical point of view, of course, I should share with you something. Not far distance from Bangladesh, you are getting Mir Jafar Ali Khan. Mir Jafar Ali Khan, especially who was chief of army staff, is in that is the country. He could pass his life very happily under the supervision of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla. But he especially wanted to be king of that is the country, Greater India, and he especially that is called dug a own grave of his own. He dug especially that canal to bring crocodile. Thus so many crocodiles came in order to eat him up. This is how especially that his life was ended. Misfortune also justice came in the life, and a group of people, of course, who became conspirator, machinator, they suffered mass we cannot deny. So men should not be greedy, women should not be greedy, and we need to control ourselves properly and perfectly from every side, through which it is possible on the part of us to get love of Allah, mercy of Allah. Mercy of Allah is essential here and hereafter. Dear readers, supporters, listeners, Emily Bronte especially was a lady. Her unparalleled special writing ability charmed me most. I am really charmed because of her unparalleled special writing quality. Lifting my four fingers up to my forehead, I am interested to salute her. She practiced especially deeply in literature, noticed many things of human nature perfectly and properly, By the help of his own eyes, he showed the human mistake. This and that, of course, is getting Heathcliff, especially that who became a wealthy person in course of his time, return is especially to that particular native is the place where he passed some years of his childhood. Coming here, he started to reciprocate with the wife of Edgar Linton. গাছে বেল পাকিলে তাতে কাকের কি, আরেকজনের বউর সাথে প্রেম করতে হবে? তুমি বিয়ে করতে পারো না? হিথক্লিফ, তুমি বিয়ে করতে পারো না? সমাজে কি মহিলা মানুষ নাই? তুমি কেন আরেকজনের বউর সাথে প্রেম করতে চাও? I would like to ask you one question, especially why you are interested to make friendship, love affair with the wife of a person, and this particular lady that you are getting, Catherine. Catherine especially had competent husband. Physically he was competent, mentally he was competent, economically he was competent, academically he was competent, and especially that behavior, nature, nurture, thought, conception, humanity, honesty, purity, simplicity, magnanimity, generosity from any and every side, is every nook and corner, tent side. He was quite right in this section, but especially thus this particular person got married with Catherine through proposal, not especially he did not get married with him stealthily or by eloping, or just especially going to court. It is not court marriage. He did not do such kind of wrong. Of course, we ought to know, need to know. But through proposal he married. But especially his conjugal life began to break down because of his arrival of Heathcliff. For it is especially Edgar Linton told Heathcliff not to annoy him or his wife or his child. This and that, of course, he wanted to make him understand this matter. Human life is very short and transient. In this shortest especially time, no one should come especially to anyone in order to annoy him or her, or especially create disturbance for any person, of course, it is getting. It was the intention of especially that home Edgar Linton, husband of yours, getting Catherine. But Catherine especially could not understand what she was doing, whether it was right or wrong. She became too much emotional one. According to Justice Emily Bronte, Emily Bronte is successful as a person to portray the characteristics and character of men and women. I think especially Emily Bronte, notice this thing, novelist. Such kind of feelings, willings, especially for each other, one another in this society. For this reason, she especially portrayed the characteristics befitting his manner in this particular section that we are defending. Thus, especially that Heathcliff could not get any pleasure, satiety, satisfaction, joy, merriment. Heathcliff especially was degenerate at the end of especially Edgar Linton, seriously and severely. But he did not especially torture his wife, didn't tell anything especially severely, told this one sentence, you could easily marry Heathcliff. Why did you marry me? And coming just here, you did not get any bad behavior, you did not face any crisis of everything, any side and sector and section. But especially why you are going to make my life like a poison, a cup of poison, a cup of poison, a glass of poison, a bottle of poison, a dram of poison, etc. Catherine had nothing to say because especially Catherine could not understand what was being done by her. Thus, especially ending time of Catherine came. He died. Heathcliff could not get pleasure, though he occupied especially property of both the families. We are getting Edgar Linton families, and as well as especially family of getting family of especially Mr. Arnshaw. But this property could not make him happy because it's especially money of other, what he especially that is acquired or gained by the help of corruption. This thing he could not make him happy. Unhappiness came because of this section. But of course, Heathcliff's special attraction, love for Catherine was very serious, and before his death, he wanted to sleep beside the grave of Catherine is the Berkeley. It means especially before his death, he wanted to just get her as wife, but could not. Second thing is that after his special death, he wanted to become his companion of this person, Catherine Berkeley. It is being shown by our novelist herself, of course, where is getting Emily Bronte. Whatever might be, I do believe this thing you have understood this matter. Tempest is another just special, remarkable is the book of our dramatist himself. In this section is especially Prospero was king of Milan and he was very busy person. Told his younger brother to look after the kingdom and he became busy to study. His younger brother, when he came to power, he could understand the test of power. After this and that made conspiracy against his elder brother and wanted to kill him. Fortunately, this particular person especially was not killed, that in the and that, of course, especially before especially trusting anyone, you must think whether it is especially adjustable or not. Man mind is changeable, woman mind is not unchangeable. Antonio, younger brother of that is called Prospero. Prospero could not think in dream that his own blood connected brother would behave with him in the joy. Such kind of behavior would come from his side. He especially it was puzzling matter. Whatever might be, after this and that in Tempest, Antonio who came to power and especially that is called Prospero elder brother could forgive his younger brother who is getting. In the meantime, Justice especially Antonio Prospero's daughter Miranda got married with another especially personality. I should share with you something. In the and that enmity of especially that is called between the two persons is especially cancelled. Milan especially king where is getting and especially Prospero's daughter got married with a Prince Ferdinand. Prince Ferdinand is married especially this particular lady named Miranda. Thus especially they got happiness, joy, merriment, peace and tranquility. এখানে একটু বাংলায় বলে রাখি, তৎকালীন সময়ে এরকম দুই দেশের ভিতরে যখন ঝগড়া বিবাদ হতো, মারামারি কাটাকাটি হতো, দুই রাজার কোনো রাজার যদি মেয়ে থাকতো, আরেকটা রাজার যদি ছেলে থাকতো, তখন এই রাজার মেয়ের সাথে আরেক রাজার ছেলের সাথে বিয়ে দিয়ে দিত। তো বিয়ে হওয়ার পরে তো ওনারা বিয়াই হয়ে যেত, বিয়াই হয়ে গেলে আত্মীয় হয়ে যেত, আত্মীয় হওয়ার পরে আর মারামারি কাটাকাটি থাকতো না। If there would have been conflict between two countries, of course, suppose Mr. X is a king, he has a daughter. Mr. Y is a special king, he has a son. In this and that, of course, especially they combined them by the help of marriage, of course, and in this and that, especially their quarrel, conflict, they forgot easily. I do believe is one thing you have understood is this matter. I spoke in Bengali. I think some of you faced problem to understand my language. Whatever might be, I am accustomed to discuss in this language by which it is possible on your part to develop your quality and to go ahead. Then I discussed especially that is something before you. You have understood is this matter. But in order to just especially understand my thought and conception, you especially must watch my video again and again, by which it is possible on the part of you to be successful. My address especially is going to be given to Facebook maybe tomorrow inshallah, and by this especially countless students, learners, other person would be able to understand this thing. But today's discussion you are getting, it was given for the purpose of admission is the battle. In admission is the battle, if you take a little preparation, it will never be helpful for you. But you need to take serious preparation from different angle. But if you can't do this section, obviously in the long run you shall have to suffer. So you must not especially that is called of course miss your target as you have target is it while thus you can is go ahead. Depend on Allah, say your prayer is 5 times, read the Quran, believe in Allah, and especially that is called read is Durud towards Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Don't do any perverted task addiction, adulteration, or any kinds of especially crime by especially throwing dust into the eyes of your parents, kith and kindred, etc. Of course, whatever you do, whatever we do, everything special is Angel is here, especially that is called is the grabbing the picture is always 24 hours. At the day of blood judgment, everything will be represented is in front of so many persons. Amul Nama will be given to sinner is the left hand, Amul Nama will be given to virtuous is the right hand. So, for your own action is special, you shall have to suffer. No one will come is not to rescue. Your parents will not come beside you to rescue. The person is who help you to perform is sinful task connection. To get is especially part-time is joy, merriment, peace, tranquility, happiness, etc. This and that, of course, that sinner will not come to rescue you. For this is the reason, of course, especially from different crimes, you must especially come out and you must say your prayer is 5 times and beg pardon to the God of Almighty. I think you have understood another point. The world in which we live, it is especially transient world, temporary world. We can't stay here forever, century after century. So I do believe is one thing that you have understood is my sentence and thought and conception, ideology, philosophy, etc. Whatever you learn to me from this speech of mine, you may teach your younger brothers and sisters. Kith and kindred, you can consult this with them in Bengali. Let them understand this thing is properly. I especially prepare my videos in this language so that foreigners who are staying in this country can understand me. Students of special English version schools of this country, including especially that is called English medium, Cambridge University, Oxford University, of course, there is getting who are learning is under this institution, they would be able to understand this philosophy what I am telling. Candidate is for especially that is called cadet colleges of this country who are supposed to appear at the examination next year. You must take serious preparation like especially BCS. Your question especially will be harder than BCS. Will be harder than BCS, will be harder than university admission. In the chance that you can take especially such kind of step because the question paper is being made hard. Why? Because it's the number of seats are limited, but the number of candidates are many. For this is the reason question paper is made is hard, not easy one. This is why our especially that is called tenderest boys and girls, Komalmati Shantan jara achi, must practice themselves, especially in the joy to reach the targeted goal. Pray for me so that I can perform this special duty and responsibility for you all who are my listener, who are my supporter, etc. In the chance that I am interested to reach many things before you. Listen frequently, again and again. Develop your quality. May Allah be gracious on us, on wishing your peace, prosperity, progress, happiness, long life, as well as especially that is called tranquility here and hereafter. I am going to end here. Thank you very much. Thank you all.